Dear friends, dear participants of the BESTbelt Conference, I truly am sorry that I cannot attend this year. I really would have loved to come, but as you know, right now in the European Parliament we are preparing for the hearings of our new commissioners. This is a very decisive time. I'm having lots of meetings, and of course it will also be decisive for the future of Europe's nature. You very well know that in the biodiversity strategy from 2020, several projects were announced. Some of them have been completed, as for example the nature restoration law, thankfully. Others are still open, which is the Trans-European Network of Nature, of green infrastructure. And I believe the BESTbelt project is a signature move to show how such a network could look like, with the green belt being the backbone running all through Europe, and from this backbone we could extend, so to speak, the ribs of this trans-European network. And that is something that I will be fighting for, although the majorities in this parliament have become rather difficult when it comes to environmental and nature protection and enhancement. But whoever doesn't fight has lost already. So we have to fight. We only have this one nature. I think the BESTbelt project are really good examples for the great successes which we have when we move towards nature protection in a coordinated manner, and at the same time strengthen the local communities that live along this green belt. And I'm really proud to see how many projects were started due to the funding that we could secure in the last mandate. And this is, of course, not only just for the sake of nature and of people, but also when we look at climate mitigation and adaptation. And there we have, for me, very important ecosystems, which are peatlands and wetlands. And therefore, I would like to emphasize two of these projects. The first call, micro wetlands restoration of fountains in Bulgaria. These water fountains are vital sources of water for people, livestock, and biodiversity, of course. And I think it is very beautiful that it bridges to a cultural heritage in the Balkan countries. And socioeconomic progress had led to the abandonment of these wetlands. And I think the restoration is a very good sign that all technologies can help us in the current climate, at the same time enhancing attractivity for tourists for the region. The second call, positive publicity for North Korea's threatened eastern mares in Finland. A lot of mares are in a poor state in Europe, and still mares are being destroyed as we speak, for example for peat extraction, but also for agriculture. But peatlands and mares are natural allies in the fight against climate change, and also when it comes to climate adaptation. And so I think it is very important that the local communities are taken along in this process, because at least in my home country, Germany, those our predecessors that actually were draining the peatlands, they were the heroes of agriculture. And of course, their descendants now say, well, did Grandpa do everything wrong? And my answer is always, no, of course not. It was the right thing to do in his time. But in our time, the real heroes for peatlands are those that re-wet them, that revitalize them, that bring back life to those drained bogs, and that those re-wetted bogs are our allies when it comes to climate change, mitigation and adaptation. Peatland that is alive stores carbon every year, and also it's a buffer against extreme rainfall. And we all have seen this year in a lot of regions in Europe how important it is to have those buffers, because the nature-based solutions are the most inexpensive ones with a lot of co-benefits. You that are attending this conference are at the forefront of fighters for these nature-based solutions. I count on you to support this further, to spread the word how good it is to have those projects being funded by European money, and how, of course, it helps all the local communities also when it comes to economic benefits. We will have a big debate about nature credits in this next mandate. This is something where Ms. von der Leyen has voiced her support for, and I think it might be an opportunity to, let's say, raise more money for nature protection and restoration, but we have to get it right. And one crucial issue is involve the local communities, involve the people that are actually living next to these projects. And that is something where I think the BESTbelt project shows very well how this might work. I wish you fruitful discussions and a wonderful conference.